Good morning, Charles. Welcome to Money Monday. How are you?
That's right. That's what you call Mondays, huh? Money Mondays.
Money Monday. Yes. Can you have a better name than Money Mondays?
No, I think that's perfect.
Because everybody is. What is it? I don't know. What's the thing? Manic Mondays or whatever. People
Yeah,
don't like
Manic Mondays.
Mondays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Those Bangles back in the '80s, right? Everybody had their favorites. For me, it was the singer. All right, just about everybody else is the same. We're starting off a little bit early today because the folks at Parx are going to start a little bit early today. Charles is in today and tomorrow. Terry will be in on Wednesday and Thursday as we cover Parx today and tomorrow. And then Wednesday we'll cover Tampa Bay Downs. Thursday we'll be at Aqueduct. Today in Ben Salem, Pennsylvania. The weather is nice, I guess, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
39 degrees, 48. It's going to go up to 48, so that won't be too bad. Sunny. Tomorrow, it's going to be 55 and rainy, so we'll have our hands full with an off track tomorrow, Charles. So let's see how that all plays out. You ready to get cracking on the first race at the wonderful Ben Salem Parx Race Track? Used to be known as Philadelphia Park.
That's right.
All right.
I'm ready.
To go? All right, let's go. So race number 1 at the Pennsylvania track is a 1 mile, 70-yard race. It is a maiden claiming for $25,000. The purse is $26,000, Charles. I know Parx is not your most common track, but if you're looking for winners at a mile and 70 yards, you typically want horses that have inside out early speed. That's the ones that typically win. Our way to the winner's circle worksheet will help us illustrate that. Again, E are horses that want to drive the car. EPs can drive or play ride shotgun. P's usually ride shotgun within 2 lengths of the leader at the quarter-mile marker. PCs can ride shotgun or in the back seat. Closers are always in the back seat. Significant scratch here, Charles, I think, with the 3-horse being out, had an early pace advantage. We weren't quite sure what the 8-horse was going to bring to the table as a first-time starter. So that leaves a bunch of horses that kind of want to sit in the middle, none of which really show a whole lot of early speed. So it's just going to be a blob from beginning to end.
I probably so. I think so. Probably the 5's going to go out to the front, but I still say the 7 is going to be the winner of this race. This horse ran second last time out. Trainer gets 16%, but he gets 24% when he puts him in maiden claiming. So good angle there, especially for this type of race. And the 2-horse is my second choice. The horse ran third last time out. Has that tactical speed more on the closing side, but the trainer gets 17%. This is the second time going to a route, so the horse should now understand it. And then the 5-horse, which I believe will be the speed of the race, ran second last time out. Actually, last 2 times out, actually. It gets Pennington, which is a big plus at this track. He does very well at this track. And then the 1-horse. This horse ran third last time out. The rail gets 20%. Fits with these type of horses. So that's it for the this first race.
I'm about to get in trouble, Charles. Number 7, Girl from Outer Space. Aren't they all? Anyway, did tie for, I'm just kidding, of course. We joke around here. We're the ones from outer space. Anyway, it did tie for the top last race speed figure, and the race internals were better across the board last time out. Number 4, Divinari, I guess, does have the top early pace and late pace combination in the field. But I'm afraid this one might get a little bit overbet. This is something you'll find in Charles's medicine cabinet, the Aquabella, as he tries his best Joe Namath impression. Anyway, there's 1 or 2 pressure horses in the field, but with that other horse scratching out of here, the 3-horse, the 5-horse is the one that could be on the front in a race packed with closers. And then finally, number 2, Tempted to Touch, was the other to tie for the top last race speed figure in this thoroughbred race, has the most late pace in the field, and could be better in the second try at a route run. Race 2, Charles, is 7 furlongs, claiming $7,500. Non-winners of 3 lifetime for a purse of $22,000. 7 furlong profile of a winner is a horse that has some early speed, particularly if it has an inside draw. Our pace setup is a little bit different this time around. We do see a couple of horses in here that the 5 horse has some versatility. As an EP type, it can run on the lead. It can also run right off the lead. So it or the 1 are probably going to be the horses that set the pace when the gates open. Just about the rest of the pack is going to try to close in on those as they finish up this 7-furlong race. Looking at the 1 horse, it does have the best combination of early speed and late speed, and has a 5-point advantage over everybody else. What do you think about that 1 horse? Are you going to kaboom it as your top pick?
Not as my top pick, but he's definitely in my picks. I thought it was a really tight race, this one. I'm going with the 7. I'm going to go with the Apprentice. A little extra weight off this horse. Drops in class. This horse does have enough speed to keep up with him. If not, take the lead. Like I said, you got the Apprentice Ramos on. So he's doing okay. A little extra weight off, so that might just be enough to help. And then the 1 horse drops in class today, like you said. It's got that tactical speed that could do whatever he wants to do. Ness is the trainer. He gets 26%, so look out for this horse. The 2 horse is another horse that has tactical speed. This trainer gets 18%, but gets 25% when he goes from route to sprint. So I've always liked that angle too. I like going from route right back to sprint. So I like that horse a little bit there. And then the 4 horse is my final choice. This one will be closing. Trainer gets 14%, and it looks like he fits with these type of horses.
Okay, race 2. I'm starting off with the horse you don't have, the 5 horse. Masroor is the lone EP horse, and his early pace should put him on the lead in a field that is dominated by closers. Number 1, best name on the card, Boom Boom Kaboom, is the likely pace setter and has the top early pace, late pace combination in the field. It does get to ride that 18% winning rail, which is a pretty high rate. Number 7, Instant Chaos, drops in class after winning his last in the first ride with jockey Gabriel Ramos, and Mr. Ramos rides again today. And then closing out race number 2 with number 2, Cape Hedge is the lone pressure closer type in the field. And if this guy can just run back 2 races, probably has a pretty good shot to taking home the top prize. Race number 3, as we move along on the Parx card, is 1 mile and a 16th, claiming $7,500 for the purse of $22,000. At 1 mile and a 16th, the type of horse that usually finds the winner's circle has tactical speed. Post positions 1 through 7 play close to fair, but if you do happen to wear an 8 or out, you do get a little bit of a bonus. In race number 3, again, some scratches, some that might be change the race shape a little bit. The 6, which was probably going to pressure for the lead, is out. The 5 horse, maybe a nondescript horse in there. That means the 8 horse becomes our first left arrow horse of the day. This is a pressure closer type with enough early speed to move forward today. Also has the top late pace, best combination of early speed and late speed. Charles, you can't pass what you can't catch. Is anybody going to pass and catch the 8 in your view?
In my view, probably so. I think so. I think the 3 will. The 3 ran third last 2 times out. He's been well bet the last time. Gomez stays on this horse. So I think this race kind of sets up for this horse. My next pick is the 7 horse. This one has tactical speed, got a hot jockey the last 7 days. Definitely does better at a route. And my third choice will be the 8. Ran second last 3 times. Has speed, like you said. And the Bug Boy stays on this horse. So once again, we got a little extra weight off of a horse. And then the 2. This horse has some speed to hang with them. The trainer gets 18%. And it fits with these type of horses.
All right. So this is my box it up. It's where we take 4 horses, put them together in a $1 exacta box, 10-cent superfecta box, and a $1 exacta box. Put that backwards. I had a little dyslexia myself right there, Charles. I'm going to start off in race number 3 with that left arrow horse, my Carolina, my guess. It is a lonely PC horse that did run the top last race speed figure last time out. and has the most late pace. I don't think it's going to be, I think it's going to be maybe on the lead with the most late pace. It's going to be hard to catch. Number 4, a bit bad in Bogie. Big fan of this distance 8 times, but not a big fan of winning so much. 2 times it won, but 6 times it finished second. So, of course, I put him in second. Also has some of the most late pace in the group. Number 7, Charles, Don't Be Ridiculous. Last race was better than it looks on paper with improved 2 and 4 furlong pace numbers. Again, Mr. Mikowski from Timeform USA told us all, pay attention to those early ones. They're the ones that, those early pace figures, those are the ones that usually hint at a horse that's improving. And then finally, number 3, another saucy mix, missed as the favorite in her last race, and trainer Patricia Faro does rebound at 21% the next time around the track with chalk that disappointed. Ready for race number 4, Mr. Charles?
Yes, I am.
All right, let's move forward to race number 4, which is another 1.70-mile race. This one's claiming for $5,000, non-winners of 2 in a year. The purse here is $18,000. Again, real quick reminder, 1.70 miles usually favors horses with speed that have inside draw. Our way to the winner's circle worksheet shows us the pace setup for race number 4 is one that could be very competitive early because we find that the 4, the 6, the 9, the 7, the 2, the 5, listed in order from top to bottom, all have very similar early pace figures in here, Charles. So that could set it up for a horse that has a little bit of late legs. That's the 1, the 3, and maybe the 8. This is a pretty wide open race, I feel like, Charles. So how did you rank them?
Yeah, it was pretty tough. Like you said, I think it's going to be a cavalry charge at the end with at least 3, 4 horses coming at there. I think it's going to be a very, very tight finish with the 2 probably putting up his nose in this race. He has enough tactical late speed. He was well bet last time out, ran 3rd last time, gets Gomez back on. A lot of pluses for this horse. The other horse that would be probably in the photo will be the 8.
Oh, he's calling a photo.
I'm calling photo here. Drops today, ran 3rd last time, claimed 3 back, got a hot jockey last 7 days. And then my 3rd pick would be the 3. This horse has a little bit more speed than the others. Hot at the claim box 4 times this year. Hot trainer last 14 days. So everything says everything's a go on this type of horse. So look out for him. And then finally, my last pick would be one of the speed horses. This horse drops today. Definitely has speed. The trainer gets 23% in this type of race, and these races. And so that is my 4 picks today.
All right. Number 3, Sugar Streak is my first choice in race number 4. Parx smashed the field by 8 3/4 lengths in the last time out, and across the board, better speed numbers, pace numbers. Everything was better in that last race. Number 9, I do worry a little about regression, though. Lean On E is the lone EP horse in the field. If it can just run back 2 races, could make easy work of this field, running at the lowest level that the horse has done in the last 10 starts. Number 8, Frisky Feeling. Last race was better than it looks on paper, as the horse did produce some better fractions last out. Then closing out the show here with race number 4 at Abhali. Some flexibility in its running style. Did run a Z pattern last time out. And again, another horse that showed better internals from the beginning to the middle to the end of its last race.
You're not calling a photo finish?
Yeah, I'm not. Hey, Muhammad Ali, how are you this morning? All roses to you as well. DC Cooper, how are you? I love horse racing. Just learning the last few years. I love your show. It helps me to learn. Thank you. We appreciate that, DC. We're thinking about putting together like a handicapping webinar. If that's something people would be interested in, let us know. Hit us up in the comment section. Like Muhammad Ali and DC, if you have some thoughts you want to share, please do so. This is a community. If you have picks, any questions, fire away. We're here to facilitate to the best we can. All right, Charles, moving on to race number 5 at the Ben Salem, Pennsylvania track. I've never been there. I know that Sean had a fantastic time at the Pennsylvania Derby. This one closes out the hot dog pick 4, which we'll get to in just a moment. This is a 6 furlong race, maiden claiming 25,000. It's the first time I think today we're going to see 6 furlongs. There is an early speed bias. The one negative here is if you ride the rail, it's a little bit of a discount. Every other post position is sort of fair. If we want once again, look at the way that we do not have a way to the winner's circle pace sheet here, because this is that race, Charles, with a lot of first-time starters. So real quick question. When you do first-time starters, I personally put them in buckets, the first-timers versus the experienced horses, and then I usually like to pick out of one bucket or the other. How do you do it?
Yes, but I mean, I usually do lean towards horses that has at least one race in them.
All right, and I think that's what you did in your pick, so fire away.
Yeah, my first pick here in this race is the 10. And the reason why I pick usually a horse that has at least one race, there's a lot going on for these young horses that learn a lot. And at least they have one race, they figured out some things, dirt kicking them in the face and all that kind of stuff. So the 10 horse, he drops in class today. Trainer gets 20% on their second career start. So that's a good angle for this horse. He got some solid works on this horse. And he looked good running the last time. So I'm going to put him in the winner's circle, but the 2 horse is definitely going to have a say in this race. Ran second last time out, gets Pennington. Like we said, he owns this track basically. Trainer 18% when he puts him in maiden claiming. So this horse is definitely going to be tough. The 9 horse is a horse that has some solid works. Ness gets 16% with first timers. Dam has 4 winners from 4 starters. You can't get much better than that. And so that horse looks like it could be tough. And the 7 horse is my final choice here. Another one that has really nice solid works. Dam has 2 winners from 3 starters, but one of them was a stakes horse. So there should be some quality in this horse.
Some blood. All right, I'm going to go the other way around. I'm going to start with the first-time starters because I wasn't overly impressed with the runs from the horses with the experience, although I do have them in my picks. Last Chance Chansey. Going to roll with these first-time starters, as I said. I like the workouts for this Ness and Ruben Silvera horse. Jamie Ness and Ruben Silvera, if you're unfamiliar with the Parx track, they are the dominant trainer, dominant jockey in there. So when those 2 team up, it's usually a sign it's a good horse. Ness also has this one as well, the 4 horse in here, Love the Hustle. But what I like about this horse is if you look at the workout tab, Charles, you see the last 3, each one has gotten faster than the previous one. So the horse does look like it's going to be fit, firm, and ready to run today. I like the 2 horse of the 2 experienced horses better than the 10. First of all, the post position is better. And it is, according to it just looks like it's a little bit faster than the 10. And that's what I like in here. And I also like the inside post. And then I like the 10 as my 4th choice. So mostly the same horses for you and I. Cry It Up, well bet in its debut at Delaware. And as you mentioned, trainer Juan Ervilla does win his second career starts at 20%, which is an alpha angle for him. So ordinarily he wins at 12% overall. So I alluded to earlier, it is our hot dog pick for races 2, 3, 4, and 5. We have a $20 budget, and this is how we spent our money. Charles went 2 by 3 by 3 by 2. I went 3 by 2 by 2 by 3. So a little bit different. And I don't see a way for us to both win, Charles. So it's going to be all or nothing or nothing or all. It's going to be something.
Yeah. But the first half of this whole card is kind of like that, I think. So
yeah, it could be. It's a little bit more. There's more horses in the early part of the card in the races than a little bit later on. And then I think that the sort of race quality, at least the race classification start to move up the ladder as we move through the second half of the card, which is what we're going to do right now in race number 6. This race is a 1 mile and 70 yards again, not moving up the card just yet at claiming 5,000, although that person 19.5 works out pretty well. Again, 1 mile and 70 yards, looking at horses that typically want to get to the lead, preferably horses that are inside versus horses that are on the outside. We go back to what the race shape looks like for race number 6 to help us get a better understanding of who might be where and if they get an edge. Well, if any horse has an edge in here, it looks like this one horse is the Lone E facing off against everybody else that wants to be in the back. Sometimes these ones these lone E's don't look so good on paper, but when they stand off to the side like this, you almost have to consider them just on that alone. Charles, what do you say?
Yeah, since I do believe he is going to be for sure the one that's going to pop the gate, he's in my picks. But I think another horse that has speed, tactical speed, I think the two is going to be sitting right there ready to pounce whenever the one is ready to cave in. So this horse definitely has some speed. He drops. He won last time out, and he got a hot jockey for the last 7 days. So
when you're looking at that half mile fraction, to me, the quarter mile and the half are important. I think the quarter mile is important too. So when you're looking at the quarter and half, if the one goes out and say 23 and a half and 48 and a half, is anybody going to catch it?
probably not. Probably not.
All right.
Yeah, it depends if the two's sitting right on him. It just depends on that. So yeah, I would agree with that if he was all by himself, 3 or 4 lengths. Yeah. The 7 horse is my second choice. One last time out. This horse will definitely be closing. Uh, just the question is, will he have enough speed to, to go after, so they could tire out. So I think he definitely fits here, and I think he fits enough to get the second place. The 1 horse, which is your lone speed, I think overall drops. Trainer gets 21% and goes a little bit shorter. He cuts back just a little bit more. They're trying to find that happy medium place for this horse. So he could be a little dangerous. And then the 3 horse is my final choice here. Definitely another one that's going to be closing. Jockey gets 21%, and it looks like he kind of fits in with these type of horses.
I'm going to start with Arrivederci too. That 2 horse. This is my first selection. This one won its last race with the top last race speed figure, or at least tied for it anyway, and now is dropping in class. So it's clearly one of those things looking at the conditions book. Number 1, I think you can not overlook these lone E horses. Drops in class as well and does ride that high percent winning rail. So speed by itself on front, if the fractions are right. Again, I'm going to be looking at that quarter mile fraction. If he runs 24 seconds at the quarter mile and over 48 seconds in the half mile, I think he could be home free. Number 4, nice of me, Charles. Jockey Michael Sanchez and trainer Michael Pino, when they come together, they win at a nice 26% rate. That's a pretty good number. And despite the high win rate, they still generate a positive ROI of 14 cents on the dollar. So bet $1, get $1.14 back. That's like 7 years in the bank. And number 7 is Relishment. It's the most late pace in this horse race and showed much better pace numbers in the first half mile of its last outing. So I like when you see horses that usually come in off the pace, and now you're starting to see them pick up the early part of the race as well. It means to me, it's a horse that could run a very complete race from beginning to end. Race number 7 is another one we'll be looking for horses to run a good race from beginning to end. 6.5 furlongs. It is an allowance $8,000 for a purse of 30 grand. Charles, at 6.5 furlongs, we are looking for horses that have tactical speed with an inside 3 draw. Our way to the winner's circle worksheet for race number 7 sees a lot of speed here, Charles. But the 7 horse was part of that speed. He's since scratched out. But the 5, the 3, the 4, and the 6, all of these guys could compete for the lead. So when you see a lot of speed horses, you want the speed of the speed, which I don't know which one of that's going to be, or maybe the one with late legs, which could be the 4 horse. Back here, you do have a 2 horse that does have a strong late pace advantage. So if this group right here goes way, way too fast, look out for this guy catching them by a nose at the wire. Charles, what do you think?
Yeah, I was trying to break this race down, and once the 7 got scratched, I think it made it a little bit clearer. I think now the 4 is a winner. Just because of his late, he could hang in there much later with the other speed horses. So I see him either sitting second or be right on the lead with the 5. I think the 5 is going to go out and do some damage. But this horse, the 4 horse, ran third last time out. He's 9 for 11 in the money this year. He was well bet his last 3 times out. So I see this one now as the winner. The 6 horse is my second choice here now. This horse won the last 2 times. Trainer gets 18%, and I think he's definitely the one to watch out for.
Mm-hmm.
And the 2 horse will, I think, is going to be right there for third. Ran second last 2 times. He's 11 for 13 this year, so this one's a very hard knocking horse. Will be closing, like you said. Probably most likely be a photo finish for second and third between the 6 and the 2. And then I believe the 5 will hang around for the other super exotic stuff type of stuff. He has the speed, and he will break on top. I know that for a fact.
All right, so they're loading. There's only 2 horses. So I'm going to go real fast here for me in race number 7 as the race number 1's about to kick off. The 4-horse beaten favorite last time out versus the morning line favorite to hear the 6-horse. I think this is the most consistent runner in the group. Miss Pepina won 3 in a row with the top last race. Speed figure did improve a lot in its last race, but maybe a little bit too much. So some regressions possible today. Number 2, JD's Vista at Parx. 8 times, 3 wins, 4 seconds. That's almost a perfect record and does have that plus late pace edge in a field for full of speed. And then finally, number 2, I already got the 2 in there. Number 5, excuse me. That's always talking. That's how I feel sometimes. This one could benefit with the 7 scratching. And I think it's the one that's going to attempt to go wire to wire. All right. And they're off in race number 1. And the 5-horse in that race as well. Aqua Bella. Charles's favorite fragrance is on the lead. No question about that. The 6-horse is right on the outside at 30-1. 11-month 6 later. I don't know what the heck that means, but that one's right outside. They're run through the opening quarter. They haven't posted that number yet, but we'll tell you when they do. 24-4. I knew they were getting close, so not all that fast. I think that's a fractions that work to the 5 Aquabella's favor. The 2-horse is now starting to make a little bit of move up the rail. That's Tempted to Touch. To the outside of Tempted to Touch is the 1-horse, which is Dana's Big Day, something you have that I don't. Looks like right now it could be one of the favorites in there. But from front to back, there's really not much difference between the group. Maybe a horse and a half to 2 horses separating them. On the outside, the 7-horse, Girls from Outer Space. Looks to me that it has a lot of horse left. But it hasn't really looked to ask for it yet. The 2-horse now, Tempted to Touch, is making its move up the rail to take the lead. And as I mentioned, that 7-horse that looked like it had the most horse right now, it is on the march, on the outside, just about ready to roll by everybody in my view. I could be wrong about that, but Girls from Outer Space looks to me as coming out of the turn as the horse to beat, followed behind by that 4-horse, Divinity, who's making a move, putting the 2 away. So right now it is the 7. The 4, and it looks to me like the 1 here is making a late charge. Can the 1 get past the 4? That's the question for second, because the 7 at 6-1 or 8-1 is your opening winner at a nice price, 7-4-1. So I got an ice cold exacta to start out the day at Parx, and we both have a nice price on top, Charles. Hopefully indicative of how this day is going to go.
Yeah, that's a good way of kicking it off with a nice price winner.
Yes, indeed. Well, let's just hope that we have nice price winners in our first pick all the way down. All right, so we're done with the race number 7. We're done with
you
race
were in my
number
computer 1. And you just copied it. I got that. See.
Yeah, that's because I have the ice cold exacta and you don't.
Okay,
Who's copying who there, buddy boy? All right, so race number 8, back to 6 furlongs. This one is a claiming 10,000, 9 winners of 1 in a year for the purse of $28,000. Again, 6 furlongs at Parx. Speed works. The rail is penalized from time to time. Our way to the winner circle worksheet for race number 8. Again, we see some scratches that could impact the outcome of this race. The 2 is gone. The 6 is gone. So the 2 and 6 are out of here. But again, the 5, the 8, the 4, the 7, the 1, all of these guys have very similar early pace figures. It's going to be a drag race when those gates open. And when that happens, sometimes horses that have a little bit of a pace advantage, some flexibility like the 5 and the 1, they could be well situated to take advantage if the pace is a little bit too hot. Charles, this is your box it up. Why did you pick this race, and tell us about your 4 horses?
Well, why I picked this race is the lowest odds is 9-2 on my horses. So they start with that, and that's my third choice in this race. So I like the 4 horse here, one of the speed horses. Uh, this horse drops today. The trainer gets 26% out when he does third after the layoff, so which is my favorite angle. So this horse definitely should be ready to rock and roll today. My second pick is the 8 horse. This horse drops today. Hot at the claim box 3 times this year. Trainer gets 33%. This is the second after after a claim, so he gets 33% after a claim. So that's a great angle here, and those are great odds on both of these horses. Then your favorite, which is the one at 9-2. I think this horse ran second last time out. Trainer gets 22%. Second after the claim. Like you said, he's got that tactical speed. He's got more of the late side than not, but he could kind of hang real close to them. And then the 5 horse is my final pick here. Another horse that has speed. He drops in class, and he was claimed 3 times back. So this horse should be ready to rock and roll.
All right. So there's an unofficial objection in the first race. The 4 kind of cut off, the 2 maybe. I saw much worse at Parx go through where they don't get canceled out. So we'll see what happens there. All right, Charles. For me in race number 8, as we come off your box it up, my picks in race number 8, I'm going to start off with number 8, Captain Chaz. Well, I'm going to put it in the second spot. I don't want to do that. Captain Chaz is my first pick, not my second pick. As you mentioned, it's the second off the claim for trainer Alfredo Velasquez, who's won 9 out of 27. So obviously doesn't claim that many and then run him a second time. But when he does, 9 out of 27, I know quick math says that 33%. The 1 horse, Dalton, is my second choice in here. As I mentioned, this is a lonely PC horse with the most late pace in this race. Has some early speed too, and faces off against a field where a lot of pace could happen up front and should be able to capitalize on that. Number 5, Cajun Lover. Lonely EP horse that's dropping in class here. So another one that's got some flexibility, going to sit right behind that early wall of speed and then look to run by him as the race comes to a close. And then finally, number 7, Brooks Robinson is the only pressure horse in the field. Going to take a little bit of flyer here. I think it's 20-1 morning line, but does have a pair of bullet workouts getting ready for the second race after more than a year off. So that first race might have just been a test for the trainer to see where his horse is at. Couple of bullet workouts and then putting him in a race that maybe he thinks he has a shot in. Those bullet works to go from the range to the course. Horse could be one that surprises at a price. Race 9 is a battle. Let's hold on a sec. Hector, how are you, Hector? Indeed, how are you today? And then over here, Edgar, yes, the 7 horse did win that first race. I don't know if they DQ'd the 4 horse or not yet. Personally, I wouldn't do them because the 2 was fading anyway, but I'm not a steward. One thing I don't understand sometimes is I look at these races, I can make up my mind in about 30 seconds, Charles, not even, sometimes 4 or 5 seconds. And these stewards can take minutes to decide on what looks like it's obvious.
Yeah, I think because they're being criticized so much now, I think they're overdoing it now. I think they're overplaying the whole hand, and then they outthink themselves.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. I mean, just look at it. It is what it is, and then make a ruling. Get on, get it done, get it on, and move on. Race number 9, 6.5 furlongs is a maiden special weight for $55,000. Of course, the purse is the same there. 6.5 furlong winners favor horses with tactical speed. Again, inside draw does have a positive benefit for those horses that happen to catch a 1, 2, or 3. In race number 9, the 1 horse, unfortunately, it's out. So the 2 horse becomes the 1, the 3 becomes the 2, and so on. The 3 horse is a first-time starter, as is the 9 horse. The 7 horse is a dreaded, never close horse. So if that one beats us, it beats us. 4 horse, you can see the up arrow, maybe moving up in class. I'm not sure. Is an early speed type that does have the early pace figures to go with it. And over here we have another left arrow horse, a 6 that looks like a closer on paper, but its early pace sets it up where it should move forward today. Give it a chance to use those late legs, being closer to the front than usual. This is a long shot versus best bet challenge. So take us away. Who's your best bet and who's my long shot? or the
Well,
other way
this is
around?
actually even my second best bet of the day too. I'm going to go as far as that. I just I really like this horse a lot. So the 6 horse here.
So your long shot is my best bet. Look at that. That tells you a little bit about the two of us. That
Here
I
it
take a
is.
horse and I make it a best bet. Charles takes it and makes it a long shot. That tells you who has a little bit more brass, if you know what I mean.
Okay, and race 11, your long shot is my best bet, probably, because you're looking at my computer. Come on.
Not even close, but go ahead.
Okay, so the 6 horse here, I really like a lot here. Ran second last 2 times. He gets Pennington. Trainer gets 23% when the horse has been off for 46 plus days. So you got a nice fresh horse here. So I just see him sitting in the winner's circle. And then my second choice here for that come out for the exactas. First time Lasix user here. This horse has tactical speed. Well bet last time. And he goes a little longer today, so it should help him out.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 horse is my third choice. The Dam has 4 winners from 4 starters, which is excellent, but has 1 stakes winner out of them. So this horse is bred for this type of distance, and so you got solid works there. You got to look out for that horse. And then the 8 is my last and final choice here. This horse ran fourth last time, but was wide pretty much throughout. Fits with these type of horses, so it should finish up some of the exotics.
I want to say thank you to Jim Gallagher and also Julie. Julie, please forgive me if I get this wrong, but I'm going to go with Ramjeet. I hope I got that right. But be on the lookout for an email from me, Julie, shortly. And the reason I say that is because Julie is going to be a new member of our team here. She's going to join Sean on the Horse Center. She's going to alternate weeks with Sean, and it's going to be a great experience, great content. We're looking forward to it. I want to welcome you. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. And then, of course, tonight, Sean does return with the wonderful Jamie Martinez for the Horse Center, which will begin at 8 p.m. Eastern. Like always, a great slate of guests for this week. As always, make sure if you haven't done so yet that you go ahead and click on the subscribe button on YouTube. Hit that bell. Follow us on all of our social sites, which includes TikTok now. Horse Race, the number 2, and day, Horse Race Today. You're going to find a lot of great content over there. We're going to put a lot of great content together. And with Julie on the team now, we'll have even more great content. It's going to be a year of great content, Charles, in 2023. I'm looking forward to it. As I said, Charles, a little bit more brass from me than you. My best bet is not a long shot. It is a best bet, that 6 horse. It is that left arrow horse. Comes in from Keeneland, from your neck of the woods, with 3 consecutive speed figure increases. Number 5, North Bay, is my second choice in race number 9 at Parx. So it's another Keeneland shipper with some decent early pace. I expect it to be on the gas from go to photo. Number 2, Carter Pay All Day, has some back speed and gets first time Lasix here, though that last race was not so good. So hopefully that Lasix makes a difference for this guy today. And then finally, number 3 gets the right post position with the name 333-3 today. So 3 is wild with 33, 33, 33. I'm going to go with the first time starter here that does have some decent workouts. And I think, if I remember correctly, this is our prime rib pick for. So races 6, 7, 8, and 9, where we have $100 budget. And this is how Charles spent his money, $80, going 4x2, by 5, by 4. And then I went 3 by 3, by 4, by 5, closing out race number 9 with, I think that's I do agree with you, Charles. It's either race number 8 or 9 in the sequence that I think is the most wide open. Is that where you were thinking too, or you just felt like the 4 and 6 were the most obvious in race 7?
I thought they were probably the most obvious in race 7, but yeah, I do agree that race 8, tight, really tight, I think.
Mm-hmm. Well, I added the 2 horse in race number 7 because of its record at Parx there, where it 8 times out, 3 wins in 4 seconds. It's kind of hard to overlook that to me, because the horse is clearly a horse for that course. So that's why I went 3 deep there instead of 2. All right, they did not disqualify the 4 in that first race. See how fast? I should be a steward. Made up my mind, 30 seconds, done. That exacta, ice cold exacta, to kick off the card for Rich today, paid $68 and $63 flat for $2. So that's a good way to start the day, Charles. I think you'd agree with me on that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right, race 10 is a stakes race, non-graded stakes race. The purse is $75,000. This is the Future Star, 6 furlongs, again, at Parx. Speed, try to stay off the rail because the rail can be a little bit of a discount. 2 races to review on our way to the winner's worksheet, which, again, we'll post over at horseracingtoday.net with all of our picks and all of our notes as soon as the show is over. We have 4 horses in race number 10 in this Future Star race that want to get to the lead. These other 3 back here probably going to be patient and see what happens. Don't know what the 3 horses are going to do. Sorry, first-time starter. Charles, in this Future Star, who is going to be the star when they cross the finish line?
Well, it's this horse's race to lose, basically, how I can say it. He looks by far the best in this race, but he does have tough competition, I must say that. But this horse is 3 for 3. He's done everything right. He has the speed. He could go a little bit longer if he wants to. I think he looks very, very tough in this race. He's going to be short price, but it's not that he's going to. They're not going to let it. They're not going to hand it to him. Let's put it that way. I think these horses are at least tough enough to give him a race. I will take the 5 as my second choice. Another one that has speed. This horse is 3 for 4 this year. You can't fault him for losing the one race. So I mean, he's definitely tough enough to win this race. And the 4 horse is another one. Is in the same boat as the 5. He did everything right this year so far. He's only finished 1 time out of the money. Well bred. So look out for that horse. And then my final choice is the 7. This horse won last time out and definitely belongs in this type of race. So this is what it says. It's the race for the future stars.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think he more than belongs. I think he's going to win this race. Daydreaming Boy, won that last race with ease and has a couple of nice workouts since. I love to see a horse that runs a really brilliant race and then runs some really nice workouts too. That's a sign to me that this horse is on its game. As you mentioned, number 6, how great is Nate? I don't know Nate, but he obviously is great. But he has been, as you mentioned, really good. 3 for 3 so far. And what's interesting about those 3 wins is 1 from the front, 1 from the middle, and 1 from the back. So a highly versatile horse. I got a feeling you're going to see this one running in some stakes races as well, beyond the non-graded type. Number 2, V-Mart. This Saratoga debut would probably make this horse the favorite in here to win. That race speaks of its ability, but did kind of bomb in the other 2. I think some time off and some good works is going to be the elixir for this horse to get back to its form. And then finally, number 4, Belt Parkway, the final choice in race number 10. Was a tough call for me with this in your 5 horse. They raced against each other twice. They split. One beat them once, and the other beat the other. But the 4 horse last time out had some really significant early pace improvement, and its early pace is going to put it ahead of the 5 when the gates open. So for the 5 to beat the 4, it's going to have to pass it at some point in the race, my opinion. All right, Charles, let's find out in race number 11. If my long shot is your best bet, I would be surprised. 6.5 furlongs. This race, again, at 6.5 furlongs, does the kind of horse you're looking for, has tactical speed, preferably wearing it inside 3 color. Our way to the winner's circle for the last time, we see that the 2 horse, which was probably going to be your pace setter, no longer in the race. The 5 horse, another pressure horse. So 2 horses that probably had an impact up front. 6 horse was never close, so he wasn't going to be considered anyway. And sitting over here all by its little self is this 11 horse. It's a lone pressure closer type with the most early pace and late pace combination in the field. Charles, is that your best bet?
Well, let's put it this way. He is only going to be running for second.
Oh.
Because the 7, no one's going to catch this horse.
No one.
No one.
No.
He's going to go wire to wire. I don't even see the 12 even challenging. He might challenge him for a little bit, a blink of an eye type of thing. So this horse drops today. This horse has all the tactical speed he needs to have to win this race. This horse has been well bet every time he's raced. You have Ness as the trainer, 26%. You got a great jockey trainer combo there. it screams winner, winner, chicken dinner type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the real
Well,
race
you just made him come in last.
okay. So the real race is now for second, I think. I have the real race is the 11th race to win. Probably ran second last time out. Hot at the claim box this year, 4 times. Like you said, he's got that tactical speed, but he's going to be so far back, he's just going to be running his own race. And then the 8 horse is my third choice. Horse has some tactical speed, more on the closing side. This is second after a layoff. Trainer gets 21%. And then my final choice here today for the exotics is the 1. The rail gets 20%, and this horse is 9 for 13 in the money this year. And he definitely fits with these type of horses to finish up the exotics.
So I'm going to go with that. Rainbow Trout as my long shot. It's not my best bet, Charles. I go long shot. I don't play games. Did run the top last race, speed figure. And as we mentioned, is that lonely PC horse. You got to have them in your picks, even if they don't look the best on paper. But this one does have the best early pace and late pace combination in the field. So I think it's going to be more forwardly placed than you think in this group, Charles, and then use those late legs to wrap it up in race number 11. But if not, your horse, Be Like Beth. You can't overlook Jamie Ness and Ruben Silvera, as we talked about earlier at Parx. A horse that did run just slightly better fractions last time out. The one horse is my third choice. She Talks Too Much. Second off the bench. Could be better than the first race was, but this horse has been effective at 6.5 furlongs, 2 times out with a win and a second. And finally, tough call between the 8 and the 10 for me. I should just go with the 10 because you don't have it, but I'll stick with Johnny's Little Girl as my final choice today because that horse should improve in its second start off a bench coming in from Laurel Park. Real quick, Charles, race number 2 coming up in just about 6 minutes. So before they get off to race number 2, let's go ahead and look at our hot dog pick fours again. Just about to kick off. $18, $20, both spending 18 of our $20. A little bit different philosophy. You going 2 by 3 by 3 by 2, me going 3 by 2 by 2 by 3. If we look at our box it ups, mine's coming up in race number 3. Again, 4 horses, $1 exacta box, 50-cent try, 10-cent superfecta box. This is a race where we feel like we'll get the best odds and have a chance to collect a nice ticket as well. Let's see what's on here. Good luck, everyone. Yes, thank you for your comments, Sitter. Good luck to everybody else as well today. Our prime rib pick 4 in races 6, 7, 8, and 9. Charles put 80 of 100 to work. I'm putting 90 of 100 to work. I agree with Charles. Race number 7, the 4 and 6 look like the most logical, but that 2's record at Parx is not one that you can dismiss. So I did not. Our full picks again. My best bet is in race number 9, which happens to be Charles' long shot. My long shots in the last race of the day, race 11 in race number 11. There's got to be some numerology in that somewhere. Charles's best bet is in that race. So maybe a best bet, long shot, ice cold, exacta, Charles. What do you say, our box?
Yeah, why not?
Indeed. And then, of course, later on today, if you're looking for some college basketball or perhaps college football action, that's not coming up. But boy, the bowl games are about to get rolling a week from Friday. So you're going to want to make sure that you tune in to Professor Sides with the picks with the professor as he unveils his college football, college basketball, and hockey picks on TikTok. So you can watch him on TikTok. You can watch him on YouTube, or you can just head on over to his website. And then later on today, if you're going to be betting at Turf Paradise, Charles, the place to do that, to get your picks for that, is at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. That is the free track of the day. You'll see if you navigate to Guaranteed Tip Sheet in the link below, you will see that indeed Turf Paradise is the free track. So you're going to get some nice weather down there in Arizona for sure, and you should get some good fast racing and hopefully some great picks from us at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Make sure you check that out. We'll be back again tomorrow early at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. I did make a mistake in the email if you happen to catch our weekly email. The Foreign Fridays will not be at 1 p.m. Eastern. It'll be at 2 p.m. Eastern when we tackle Shatin out at Hong Kong. Again, Charles and I back tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. for Parx. Terry will be back with me on Wednesday and Thursday for Tampa Bay Downs and for Aqueduct. Friday, again, Shatin. Not quite sure what we're going to do on our Saturday show with Terry, but I do know that Jamie and Sean will be back tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern for Horse Center. So make sure you tune in for that. Any final thoughts before we get up and out of here on this big, long day at Parx, Charles?
Yeah, big long day, 11 races. That's huge.
Mm-hmm.
So place your bets correctly, and I hope they're all big winners.
Yes, indeed. Hope they're all ice cold exact as the rest of the way down the card for sure. No
That's
matter if
right.
you're betting at Parx, you're betting at Turf Paradise, you're just at work trying to get through the day, relaxing like Charles does over here, just chilling all day with the dog. Whatever it is that you're doing with your Aqua Fresh, Aquabella, whatever, Charles. We
That's
certainly
right.
hope it ends up in one place, and it can only be
The winner circle.
Yes, indeed. Thanks for joining us on this Money Monday. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a great, great day.